Hi everyone, this is Arjun from 295B Master Project Team with members Rishabh Sanghvi, Swati Kasat and Pooja Shukla. We have built a power outage recommendation model to predict outages near your area based on power consumption, nearby events, the weather conditions and other causes of outages. And of course this comes from a historical data model which we have fed over 3 years of data from PG&E from Santa Clara County. So let's go ahead and dive into the app. Let's register quickly a new user. This is a multi-tenant model in which we serve three kind of tenants: hospitals, residential, and commercial offices. So if it's a hospital, it will be alerted a lot more compared to the other two, since it's a life-threatening emergency in case electricity runs out. Residential is a little bit more lenient. Of course, if you're out of power at home, you don't like it, but compared to the other two, it has medium recommendations. Commercial also is mostly high level. People are notified in advance so that they can prepare for backups and so on. So let's just go with the residential one for this. For the address, we have used the Google Map API to verify if it's a valid address or not. So that's where I live. Got it quite well. It has to be a valid email. All form validations are there. Let's quickly set a password. And let's see. Okay, now that we've registered, let's go ahead and log in. All right, so as you can see, as soon as we log in, we are taken to the dashboard, which is our landing page. Here we get a straightforward prediction, which is at the moment no outages since we have very limited data entered. Then we have the weather summary, which is coming from wire.no. As you can see, whenever I hover, it gives me the temperature, precipitation, air pressure, wind, and of course the weather condition, if it's cloudy or sunny, and gives you based on the address which I entered and location, geolocation, it gets the most relevant data for you. Then we have some more information which I just entered right now. Then power outages. This is coming from a recommendation engine which has been fed over 3 years of data from PG&E Santa Clara County, along with the live conditions such as weather events happening around you, any major outages in the area, anything like that. It's all fed into the system and the model generates a recommendation like this. So in the next week, it's showing you all the relevant data here. Okay, then we have this notifications module since we chose the residence tab there. So whenever you do this, all the people staying in the residential area, they would receive a notification in the form of an SMS and an email. So, and you can also of course export your charts. You can download any of these or print it. Then let's move on to the next one, which is power outage history analysis. So in this we have used a TIBCO style outage showcase. If you look at TIBCO, they have the software called Spotfire. So we drew inspiration from this so that they have it outages by division and outage history. So similarly we have outages by cause and the number of customers that were affected due to this, like the number of balloons, it took 400, and then human error 700. So that's what it is. Then the power outages by area. As you can see, this is all information from Santa Clara County's history of across 3 years. So you can just hover through these and quickly go through the various zones they have. Then we have outages by cause. These are, of course, when we fed our model, we fed it with information about what caused the outage to occur. So based on that, we have categorized them and assigned percentages through our algorithms to find that these are the main causes of power outage. For all these charts, we have used high charts. And yeah. Okay, let's move on to the event scheduler. So this is basically for the estate owner. So I signed in as a tenant for the residential complex. So suppose I want to create an event for, let's say I have a food truck coming in tomorrow. So I need some extra power to supply to it. Okay, let's say it comes in around 5 in the evening until until 8. Okay, let's save it. So I have a food truck schedule for tomorrow. Now, if I reload this page, I'll go back to the event scheduler. So it has not generated any events for the next 3 days, which would affect my planned event of a food truck there. So otherwise it would have listed down any nearby events which would have caused hindrances or potential power outages. Then let's move on to the events. So for this we have used the Eventful APIs. So you can see these are all the events which are happening around a 3-mile radius of the address we provided. So, and it lists the head count of how many people will be attending it, and based on all this information, it predicts the electricity usage for your area for the next 5 days. And as you can see, the most is being consumed on this particular date based on the kind of event and head count it would be over there. Then let's go to live data. So for this, we have used an IoT module, Intel's Edison board, in which we hooked in a temperature sensing module. And what it does is, the basic concept about this is that if we can monitor the temperature, humidity, and power consumption of a particular device, then we'll be able to better monitor its health and predict if it needs maintenance or just estimate the wear and tear of it. So this updates every 2 minutes and gives you a predictable chart. It's basically a live stream coming through from our device. There were many other options which we could have gone for, but due to shortage of available modules and the cost, we didn't go for that. Just for demo purposes, we have installed the temperature one here. Then let's move on to the simulation. Even though we have created a model here, but the accuracy is not as desired, it can definitely be improved. And since we didn't have all the data necessary to predict it properly, so we have just created a simulation here. So, and this is to simulate the specific use case of a equipment failure. So let's suppose that we know that our equipment is going to fail and the probability is 0.9, it's quite high. So then it quickly gives me an alert that the power outage predicted, it's been predicted this week. If you change it, it changes, but yeah, that's how it is. Then you can send notifications from here and everyone will be notified of it. So yeah, these are the main features of our entire app. Then we have used Pivik, Pavik is a monitoring tool used to monitor all the incoming requests onto your server based on countries. As you can see, we are here, so we have visited a lot. Then the number of visits in a day or over time, then the number of browsers, the kind of IP addresses, and from where it's been hit. It gives you a lot of useful information for monitoring them so that you know exactly what's going on with your services. Similarly, you have various other options here which you can delve deeper into and based on your requirement draw further inference. Yeah, so that's about it from this project. Just to show you the events, I'll log in with a predefined user to give you. So if I go to my event scheduler, yeah, so as you can see, the power consumption percentage and the venue based on that. This was not coming before since it was a brand new user, but now as you can see, everything is there. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Arjun Shukla and I'm going to be demoing my 295B Master's Project iPad application for predictive power management through an iPad app. So this is the app. Basically, this is the first landing screen which you see. The user has the option to log in if they have credentials or just quickly sign them up. So let's go ahead and create a user. Once again, okay, let's see. Okay, there you go. So we can now log in and use the app. We'll just go ahead and log in. So as you can see, this is basically the create profile screen where we use the map kit to automatically pick the location of the user. You can of course add your address to this. Then you can go ahead and set your company's logo, whatever that might be. You can set your organization name, business profile, or you can basically set your power consumption for monthly usage in kilowatt hours. Then you can take notes accordingly and just share them with the other members of this application. Then you have the layout plan where you can go ahead and upload. Let's go ahead and upload. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically a layout plan of the place where I live. So this is just for the estate owner to better monitor their areas. Then we have alerting, where basically they can set alerts for critical daily reminders and others, and they can basically set them when they want the alerts to be triggered. Okay, let's just save whatever we have here and proceed to the dashboard. So as you can see, this is the dashboard in which we have 4 segments basically showing us the live equipment temperature in the first one. So there's basically a graph which is coming from one of our IoT devices. We used an Intel Edison board to capture live temperature. This is just to simulate that if you have certain power equipments being used in your buildings, you could monitor their live temperature or humidity around them just to monitor the kind of health they are in. So this is coming real time. It's just a module plugged in right next to me at the moment. There's no real equipment as such which we could monitor. So that's that. Then we have the power outages by area. This is coming from the Santa Clara County information from PG&E. So that's that. The same thing for San Jose. It's mostly the same kind of data because hardly any outages here. So then we have outages by cause. We have taken into consideration a lot of factors like equipment failure, tree-related weather, human error, animal contact, and balloons, car poles, etc. So you can basically just tap on them and look around. For the charts, we use Shinobi charts. It's trial version, just for 30 days, but yeah, serves a purpose. Then we have the calendars tab in which you can, basically set reminders around you, and it goes into your calendar. So if I want to set a reminder for today, let's see, title. Let's create a test event which starts today at 6 and ends today at 8. Okay, let's save it. So that's been saved. We can go and check that in our calendar. Yeah, so this test event has been created for today. Okay, let's go back. Then we have the events module in which it shows you the events based on your current location, which was captured during the profile creation for all the events happening around you. Why we are capturing this is because we want to know what kind of power consumption could be coming up in the near future, and generate a prediction for outage accordingly. So it's just basically a listing of all the events around you. You could even tap into it and go look about the details and all. So okay, this Gomez is coming here. Good. And yeah, same for the others. We have used eventful APIs to generate these. Then we have the sitemap, which we uploaded during the registration. This again is where they can just monitor, and you can know your location and stuff, and you know better manage. Then we have these settings, in which we just have a payments piece in which you can basically upload receipts or make payments for them. It's not fully integrated, just a sandbox one. So then we have the option to set up a chat, in which it takes us to a web Safari view controller, in which you can use Gluvio, and pretty much just enter the code here and start chatting with anybody in a secure manner. So that's that. Thought of a handy feature for real estate managers. Then you can go back to your edit profile and always set an icon here or whatever, and edit the rest as well. So that's it. You can then proceed back to your dashboard. And this app, just for quick monitoring, it doesn't really it's not the full capability of what the web dashboard is, but yeah, it's just a handy feature for the estate managers to use on the go. The other thing is that we have push notifications as well. So whenever there's an alert triggered by the recommendation engine, you would see it like this. I just read on from the online web module. So I got this. I could click on this and it take me there, and I can see that. So yeah, that's about it for the app. Thank you so much.